Hello, I'm back. TimeBug here. Welcome back to our TF2 Live Commentary. Once again, I've made 3 in a row now. And, well, gameplay-wise, I haven't done well, but commentary-wise, I've said a lot of things. Like, I don't know. Oh god, I'm running out of things to say already. We just started. So, today, well, no, actually not today, but for this video, just a specific thing I want to talk about, and that is, like, newer games and like the graphic side, because like I've noticed that people nowadays they seem to really care about graphics more than the gameplay, not just the players but also the developers and like the companies. So for example, I think like a great example of this is Cyberpunk. That game graphically is very impressive, but gameplay wise it's really janky because all the glitches, because it was quite a rushed game from what I've read on it. So like it wasn't like development hell or something. Then he just kind of had to throw it out there, which is why so many elements were just completely busted. Like didn't work at all. And like I've seen that like a lot of like the big like AAA games, they're usually a bit of rough around the edges when they get released, but visually they're quite impressive. But then when you take a look at indie games, it's like the complete opposite. Like with like indie games or games made just by like smaller developers or people who are really dedicated, you'll see like there's like yeah like visuals may not be that good, but you can really feel it in the gameplay and the writing and the story and the acting. You can really feel that there's a lot of effort and passion put into it. I wish that big studios could do the same, because indie devs have like really been carrying the industry recently. Well, not recently, maybe for like the past decade or so. Like I know, like Undertale, that was an indie game that was huge, really popped off, it really blew up. Undertale was kind of like the, I guess like the Terminator of indie games, if that comparison makes any sense to you, Zoomers. But then again, I haven't actually watched the entire Terminator movie. So yeah, go ahead, make fun of me. I haven't watched the whole thing yet. I've only seen bits and pieces, sadly. Oh, that was a horrible idea. Oh, yeah. Oh. Ooh, wow, that's a nice hat. Pow Farm. This... This isn't who I think it is, right? I... This looks very familiar. Never mind. Okay, I thought it was like Sketchcheck or someone. Well, no, I wasn't. We're a bit disappointing, but it's cool to see that there's still people like following in their footsteps. You know what? Sketchcheck is like a quite an interesting person to discuss, because he's a he's a old pyro player from early days of Team Fortress. And he like really revolutionized like how you play pyro and how people see like Pyro as a playable character in the game. Because like before that, Pyro was just that character that shoots flames and annoys everyone and occasionally blasts them away. But then Sketchcheck shows up and he's like, "Hey, what if you turned Pyro into a game of ping pong?" And then suddenly, he he knocks projectiles back at his enemies. He uses the projectiles to fly away, and sometimes he does crazy things like surf off of edges, like launch himself into the sky, or do these crazy combos that you never would have thought were possible in a game like this. It's really cool to see people like discover and invent new ways to play games, especially when it's a game as old as this. This game is like what, 16, 14, 15, like 16 years old now, 17. Well, actually, more like 18. Like, this game is nearly 20 years old, yet people are still finding new things to do. It's kind of crazy to think that almost after 20 years, people are still playing the game, but they're also just finding new things. Like, I don't know, I haven't seen many other games that have lasted this long, but, like, I know that, like, for example, Super Mario 64, that game is from, like, 97, 98, I think? And people are still discovering things in that game. Yeah, it's super old, but they're still discovering things like parallel dimensions, teleportation techniques, and like reprogramming the game with certain inputs. It's really interesting to see how people find new ways to play a game. even if it's quite old. People still, they do whatever they can to find something new to do. And their creativity always pulls through and brings out the craziest of things. I think like Super Mario 64 is like a great example of people just finding new things to do, especially in the speedrunning part of the community, because well, they find crazy things like backwards long jumping, like like sliding up the stairs to teleport to a certain area, or doing a certain button combination to like access like some crazy like cheat code or something. It's really fun to see what people find in older games. And like even in new games, like people still find like, yeah, of course when a game is new, then there's new things to find. But then when it's an old game, then like most of the things have already been seen and found. So when like you find something new, then it's a big deal. So like finding something new, like a new, I don't know, a new speedrunning technique or some discovery in, oh sorry, in Super Mario 64, find anything like that is like, like finding that is like finding Noah's Ark or something. Like it's that big of a deal. I think, and I think it's really cool that people are really invested still after all these years. And well, I'm out of steam for that one. I can't really say much more other than thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And if you've got anything interesting to discuss, then leave a comment down below and I'll see if I can bring it up in the next video. Maybe I might even be able to add something interesting for once. So, see ya!